Hello and welcome to another Ginger Mathematician video where I'm going to go through my predictions for the IGCSE Edexcel Mathematics A course, and this is for the paper 1 on the 19th of May 2023 on the Friday. So let's go through my predictions. So I've been through the last 11 papers that I can find. Again, we do have to take into account COVID in terms of priorities of topics, but hopefully I've got a nice overview here of what topics really do appear. So I break this down into three separate sections here. First of all, we've got this section, the often section. I'm going to call this my so-called tier 3 topics. So the ones that come up pretty often, but at the same time, you should be focusing on the topics tier 2 and tier 1 above as well. And notice this can feature things like standard form here. So that's what we've got a medium style topic, things like linear equations. That also includes simultaneous equations as well. Circle theorems, transformations of functions. This would be seen as a harder topic, so keep that in mind. And that's the same here with differentiation and vectors too. So when you're going through this particular revision, again, we've got our different tiers of topics, but you also do need to consider which are the harder topics, which are the easier topics as you order your revision. As we scroll up, then we are going to our almost certain category. This is what I'm going to call here my tier 2 topics. And these are ones you really should spend some time revising. There is no surprise whatsoever that expanding brackets here at a whopping 91%. So that's almost going to come up every single paper that you do. I would certainly put this into the easier category, particularly within this tier 2 section. Call it geometry probably in the medium, as with surds as well. Now number skills, this includes, if you're wondering what this topic is, highest common factor and lowest common multiple. So make sure you do revise that carefully. And interestingly, averages without frequency tables. So things like a combined mean, or they give you the modes this, the means this, the interquartile range is this, work out what numbers there are, is very, very common on the Edexcel Mathematics A. Now scrolling up to what you've been waiting for, of course, is our tier 1 category. This is where you should start your revision on the tier 1. And you can see each of the percentages here for these green topics have more than 100%. Therefore, I'm classifying this as certain. Within this, these two really should you pay attention to. So you're working out the area of 2D shapes, area or surface area of 3D shapes, and volume comes up very, very often, and also can be some of the harder questions on the course. So if you're looking to get those real top grades, then the topics to focus on are these two here. Quadratics can appear in a variety of different forms here. We've got things such as quadratic simultaneous equations. We've got things like completing the square, and again, generally is the more difficult topics. So again, those top 3 topics are important. Probability is also huge. This can vary though from a very easy question to a very hard question. So do keep that in mind. Some of the very hardest questions on the Edexcel Mathematics IGCSE so far have been probability questions. Indices is an interesting one. It does appear, but there's often like a 1 marker or a 2 marker. So you should spend time on this. That's really, really important. But at the same time, again, it's not as big priority as, say, the other 4 above. And then we've got percentages. Again, there's a stalwart of the paper, can be in a variety of different forms. Compound interest, simple interest, doing some problem solving as well does come up. And of course, factorizing brackets, the kind of twin of the expanding brackets, again coming up a whopping 109% of the time. And then sequences and series, last thing I want to mention here. Now, this can come up as a work out the nth term of a particular sequence, but you can also use the sum formulas, which is on your formula sheet. So please don't forget about your formula sheet. It is very, very helpful. Now, if you want to get up to speed on all things IGCSE, I've actually made a cheat sheet that's appropriate for both Cambridge and Edexcel. If you're interested in that cheat sheet, then check out the video in front of you, because you can check, have I covered all these topics from the IGCSE Mathematics A exam?